Look, I've seen a lot of stuff come through the doors of my pawn shop. Gold, silver, weird historical artifacts. But coins? Coins tell a story. And the story of Hong Kong's commemorative coins is a fascinating one. It's a tale that mixes British royal history with Chinese traditions, all stamped onto small pieces of metal. These aren't just the coins you find in your pocket. These are special issues, made to celebrate big moments, royal visits, the opening of an airport, or even the handover of the territory itself. They're crafted from precious metals like gold and silver and often come in beautiful presentation boxes. For collectors, they represent a tangible piece of a unique and ever-changing history. Before we dive deep, you've got to understand what a commemorative coin is. Your everyday coins are called circulating currency. They're made by the millions for buying and selling. Commemorative coins are different. They're made in smaller numbers, specifically to mark an important event or anniversary. Think of them like a limited edition sneaker, but for history buffs. In Hong Kong, this tradition really took off in the 1970s. The government started issuing special coins for things like a visit from Queen Elizabeth II. These coins were often made of sterling silver, or even 22-karat gold, making them valuable for both their metal content and their rarity. They were never meant for the cash register. The history of these coins perfectly mirrors the history of Hong Kong itself. You can literally see the story unfold. Early commemorative coins featured Queen Elizabeth II's portrait, a clear symbol of British colonial rule. You'll see her image change over the years, from a young queen to a more mature monarch. Then, as 1997 approached, the year Hong Kong was handed back to China, the designs began to change dramatically. The Queen's portrait disappeared, replaced by the bauhinia flower, Hong Kong's new emblem. This shift wasn't just a design choice, it was a powerful statement about a new chapter in the city's identity, all captured on a coin. So, why should you care? Because collecting these coins is like owning a timeline you can hold in your hand. Each piece tells you something about the political climate, the economy, and the culture of its time. You can see the shift from a British colony to a special administrative region of China just by looking at the symbols on the metal. This guide will walk you through it all, from A to Z. We'll cover the early days before modern coins, the first mints, the most important commemorative sets, and how to tell a real treasure from a piece of junk. You never know what's going to come through that door, and a little knowledge can make all the difference. Long before the British ever showed up, Hong Kong was just a collection of fishing villages. People there didn't use official Hong Kong money because it didn't exist. Instead, they used whatever currency the traders brought in. The most common was Chinese cash coins, those round coins with a square hole in the middle. But for big transactions, they relied on something more substantial: silver. We're talking about Spanish and Mexican silver dollars, often called trade dollars. These big, heavy silver coins were trusted all over Asia because of their high silver content. They were the international currency of their day, and they flowed through Hong Kong's ports like water. It was a messy system with different coins of different weights and purities. When the British established a colony in 1841, they tried to introduce their own currency. But old habits die hard. The locals and merchants were used to the silver dollar standard and didn't trust the British pounds, shillings, and pence. It was a classic business problem. Your product isn't what the customer wants. The British government had to adapt. For decades, they struggled to create a stable, unified currency system. They even tried stamping Hong Kong on foreign silver dollars to make them official. But it was clear they needed a better solution. They needed their own coins, made specifically for Hong Kong, that people would actually use and trust. This led to a huge step: the establishment of the Hong Kong Mint in 1866. This was a big deal. It was a state-of-the-art facility built in Causeway Bay, right on the waterfront. The plan was to produce Hong Kong's very own silver dollars and smaller coins, finally creating a local currency system. The mint was equipped with machinery from the Heaton and Sons Mint in Birmingham, England, and it began striking beautiful coins, including a Hong Kong silver dollar featuring Queen Victoria. The idea was great, but the execution hit a snag. The new Hong Kong dollars were not as popular as hoped, and the mint ended up losing a lot of money. It was a classic case of a project being over budget and behind schedule. Sadly, the Hong Kong Mint was a short-lived experiment. After just 2 years, in 1868, the government gave up and shut it down. The machinery was sold off to Japan, where it helped kickstart the Japan Mint in Osaka. It's a wild piece of history. The equipment meant for a British colony ended up building the foundation of Japan's modern currency. After the mint closed, the job of making Hong Kong's coins was outsourced. For the next century, companies in England, like the Royal Mint and the Heaton Mint, produced all of Hong Kong's currency. It wasn't until the 1970s that the idea of special, locally themed coins would make a major comeback. The story of modern commemorative coins in Hong Kong really begins in 1975. This was the year of Queen Elizabeth II's first royal visit to the colony. To mark the occasion, the government issued a special coin, and it set the standard for everything that followed. They released a $1,000 gold coin, a massive piece weighing about half an ounce and made of 22-karat gold. It featured the Queen's portrait on one side and the Hong Kong coat of arms on the other. Alongside it, they issued a sterling silver $50 coin. This was the first time Hong Kong had issued a gold coin for collectors, and it was a huge success. People lined up to buy them, not just as souvenirs but as investments. After the success of the 1975 royal visit coins, the government realized there was a real market for this stuff, so they started the Lunar New Year series. Beginning in 1976 with the Year of the Dragon, they issued a $1,000 gold coin every year to celebrate the Chinese zodiac animal. This was a brilliant move. It connected with local culture in a way no British-themed coin ever could. Each year, collectors eagerly awaited the new design, whether it was a tiger, a rabbit, or a pig. These coins were also made of 22-karat gold and had a standard weight of just under 16 grams. For 12 years, from 1976 to 1987, this series became the backbone of the Hong Kong numismatic scene. The 1980s saw even more commemorative issues. In 1986, Queen Elizabeth II visited again, and you know what that means: more coins. This time, they issued another stunning $1,000 gold coin. It featured a newer portrait of the Queen on the front. The reverse side was really special, showing the British lion sitting face-to-face with a Chinese dragon. You can't get more symbolic than that. It represented the unique blend of East and West that defined Hong Kong. This coin is a favorite among collectors because of its beautiful design and the story it tells about the relationship between Britain and China at the time. It was a snapshot of a moment in history, preserved in gold. Beyond the big gold pieces, Hong Kong also released other interesting commemorative coins. There were silver coins and coin sets for events like the opening of the Mass Transit Railway and the establishment of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. For example, in 1994, a 7-sided copper-nickel $5 coin was issued to celebrate the opening of the Cross Harbor Tunnel. While not made of precious metal, these coins were still special because they marked key milestones in the city's development. They were more accessible to the average person, allowing everyone to own a small piece of history. This period from the mid-70s to the mid-90s was truly the golden age for collectors. As the 1997 handover approached, the coins started to change. It was a sign of the times. The final coin to feature Queen Elizabeth II's portrait was the 1997 proof coin set. After July 1, 1997, her image was gone for good. This was a monumental shift. For over 150 years, a British monarch had been on Hong Kong's money. Now that era was over. The new coins needed a new symbol, something that represented Hong Kong's identity as a special administrative region of China. The design chosen was the Bauhinia blackiana, a beautiful 5-petal flower that grows all over the city. It became the new face of Hong Kong's currency, from the 10-cent piece to the $10 coin. The first major commemorative issue after the handover was, of course, for the handover itself. In 1997, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority released a set of coins to mark the establishment of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. This included a stunning $1,000 gold coin, continuing the tradition. But this time, instead of the Queen, it featured the new Hong Kong emblem with the Bauhinia flower on one side, and a view of the city's skyline on the other. It was a powerful statement. The coin was saying, "This is the new Hong Kong." It was still minted by the Royal Canadian Mint, showing that international ties remained, but the design was all about local identity. The new commemorative coins continued to celebrate important local events. In 1998, a coin was issued to mark the opening of the new Hong Kong International Airport at Chek Lap Kok. This was a massive engineering project and a symbol of Hong Kong's future as a global hub. The coin captured that spirit of progress. Other issues followed, celebrating the 5th and 10th anniversaries of the handover. The HKMA also continued the popular Lunar New Year series, but with a new look. They started issuing beautiful fan-shaped and scalloped edge coins, which were very different from the traditional round coins of the British era. These new shapes and designs were a hit with collectors looking for something fresh and modern. The themes of the coins also reflected Hong Kong's closer ties with mainland China. For example, there were coin sets issued to celebrate the Beijing Olympics in 2008, where Hong Kong hosted the equestrian events. These sets often included coins from both the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the People's Bank of China, sold together. It was a numismatic one country, two systems. The designs became more focused on Chinese culture, landmarks, and shared celebrations. The shift was complete. The coins had gone from being symbols of a British colony to emblems of a dynamic Chinese city with its own unique identity. So, you want to start collecting Hong Kong coins. The first thing you need to know is what to look for. Rarity is king. The number of coins made, or the mintage, is incredibly important. The 1975 Royal Visit gold coin, for example, had a mintage of 30,000, but the 1986 Royal Visit gold coin had a mintage of only 20,000. Lower mintage almost always means higher value down the road. You also need to look at the metal content. Most of the high-end commemorative coins are 22-karat gold or 0.925 sterling silver. The value of the metal itself provides a solid price floor. So even if the collector market dips, you still have the intrinsic value of the gold or silver. Next up is authenticity. In the world of collectibles, fakes are everywhere, and coins are no exception. The best way to protect yourself is to buy from reputable dealers, but you should also learn to spot a fake yourself. Real coins have sharp, clear details. Look at the queen's hair or the fine lines on the bauhinia flower. On fakes, these details are often soft, mushy, or just plain wrong. Weight is another big giveaway. Get a small digital scale. A genuine Hong Kong $1,000 gold coin from the Lunar series should weigh exactly 15.97 grams. Fakes made from gold-plated tungsten or other metals will be off, either too light or too heavy. When in doubt, walk away. Condition is everything. Collectors use a grading scale to describe a coin's condition, from poor, worn flat, to proof, which is a perfect mirror-like finish. Most commemorative coins were sold directly to collectors and were never used as money, so they are often in excellent condition. Look for coins that are still in their original government packaging, often a hard plastic capsule inside a presentation box, and accompanied by a certificate of authenticity. A coin in its original mint packaging is always worth more than a raw coin that's been handled. Scratches, fingerprints, and cleaning can drastically reduce a coin's value. My advice, never clean your coins. You can wipe out hundreds or even thousands of dollars in value with one polish. Where do you even buy these things? Back in the day, you could order them directly from the government or from designated banks like HSBC. Long lines would form for popular releases. Today, the primary market is through the Hong Kong Monetary Authority's official distributors. But for older issues, you'll be looking at the secondary market. This means coin shops, online auction sites like eBay, and specialized numismatic auction houses. Be careful online, stick to sellers with a long history and great feedback, and always remember the old pawn shop rule. If a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is. A rare gold coin selling for half its market value is a huge red flag. Once you've bought your first few coins, you need to think about storage. You can't just throw them in a drawer. The enemies of a coin collection are moisture, air, and your own fingers. The oils and acids on your skin can cause permanent damage and fingerprints. The best way to store them is in inert, archival safe holders. For many Hong Kong commemoratives, this is easy because they already come in hard plastic capsules from the mint. Leave them in there. For coins that don't have this, you can buy individual holders called slabs from third-party grading services like PCGs or NGC. These sealed holders protect the coin and guarantee its authenticity and grade, which is great for peace of mind. Showing off your collection is part of the fun, but you have to do it safely. Don't leave your coins sitting out in direct sunlight, as it can cause toning or discoloration over time. A display case with a glass top is fine, as long as it's in a room with stable temperature and humidity. For your most valuable pieces, you might want to consider a home safe or even a safe deposit box at a bank. A safe deposit box is perfect for protecting against fire and theft. Just remember that you only get to see your collection when you visit the bank, so it's a trade-off between security and accessibility. It all depends on the value of what you're trying to protect. To become a really good collector, you need to do your homework. Knowledge is your most powerful tool. There are some excellent resources out there. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority website has information on new releases. For historical coins, one of the best books is the Ma Tak Wo Catalog of Hong Kong Currency. It provides detailed information on mintage figures, varieties, and estimated values. It's like the Bible for Hong Kong coin collectors. Spending time reading books and online forums will help you learn to spot rare varieties and understand market trends. The more you know, the smarter you'll be when it's time to buy or sell. Finally, here's a quick timeline to put it all in perspective. In 1866, the Hong Kong Mint opened, and in 1868, it closed. That's your first key date. Fast forward to 1975, the year of the first royal visit, and the first modern gold commemorative coin. From 1976 to 1987, you have the first Lunar New Year gold coin series. Then comes 1997, the handover to China, and the end of the Queen's portrait on coins. After that, you see the introduction of the Bauhinia flower design. And from the late 90s onward, you have new themes like the airport opening and the handover anniversaries. This timeline gives you the basic framework. Your job as a collector is to fill in the details with beautiful pieces of gold and silver. Happy hunting!